This lecture will provide an introduction to anatomy and physiology. This segment, part 1 of 4, will cover the basic functions of living organisms, the definitions of anatomy and physiology, and the levels of organization found in living organisms. All living things share common functions, including responsiveness, growth, reproduction, movement, and metabolism. When an organism is exposed to changes or irritants in its internal or external environments, the organism is able to change or adapt based on the stimulus it is exposed to. This is known as responsiveness. All organisms also have the ability to grow. Growth can be an increase in size, an increase in number of cells, an increase in complexity, or an increase caused by a combination of these types of growth. In addition to growth, organisms have the ability to reproduce, to create similar organisms as the next generation. All living things display movement both within an organism, such as the transportation of materials, and through moving in its environment. Finally, all living things depend on metabolism, the sum of all chemical reactions in the organism. An organism uses resources such as nutrients and oxygen from its environment in chemical processes that result in the creation of energy needed for the organism to function. The term anatomy refers to the structure of things or how things are built. It is derived from a Greek word meaning a cutting open. Gross anatomy or macroscopic anatomy refers to visible structures, things that can be seen with the naked eye. Several types of gross anatomy include surface anatomy, which is concerned with the general form and superficial markings, regional anatomy, which is concerned with superficial and internal features in specific regions of the body, and systemic anatomy, which is concerned with the structure of major organ systems. In addition to gross anatomy, microscopic anatomy is also studied. Microscopic anatomy refers to structures that cannot be seen without magnification. Tools such as light microscopes and scanning electron microscopes allow for the study of microscopic structures. Cytology and histology are both areas of study that examine microscopic anatomy. Cytology is the study of internal structures of cells, and histology is the study of tissues, groups of specialized cells. The term physiology refers to the function of anatomy and specifies how structures, organs, and systems work, both separately and together, to allow organisms to perform their vital functions. There are several areas of physiology, including cell physiology, the study of the function of living cells, special physiology, the study of physiology of specific organs, systemic physiology, the study of the function of specific organ systems, and pathological physiology, the study of the effects of disease on organ or organ system functions. The human body has organization at several levels. The levels of organization begin at the chemical level and build up to the organism level of the organism. At the chemical level of organization, atoms form molecules, and the shape of these molecules help determine their functions. At the cellular level, molecules, atoms, and organelles function together and form cells, the smallest living units. At the tissue level, a collection of cells performing a specific function work together, and at the organ level, two or more different tissue types work together to perform a specific function. At the organ system level, different organs work together, and at the organism level, multiple organ systems work together to maintain the health of the organism. Here is an example of the different levels of organization found in the human body. Atoms bond to form molecules, and these molecules form contractile protein fibers seen here. This is an example of the chemical level of organization. The contractile proteins, as well as other structures, form the heart muscle cells, the cellular level. These cells interlock and work together to form the muscle tissue that composes the walls of the heart, an example of the tissue level of organization. This tissue, along with others, forms the heart at the organ level of organization. The organ system level in this example will then include the heart, blood, and blood vessels. And finally, at the organism level of organization, all of the organ systems of the body work together to support the health of the organism. Let's review with a checkpoint. How are vital functions such as responsiveness, growth, reproduction, and movement dependent on metabolism? Feel free to pause the lecture while you formulate your response. Metabolism, the sum of all the chemical reactions in the body, helps produce the energy needed for an organism to be responsive, to grow, to reproduce, and to move.